and a little bit of the philosophy and what kind of entrepreneurs you're looking to have in your space. It's a very exciting moment to have more space for entrepreneurs in Africa and Rwanda specifically. But let me just start by asking this: what's the foundation story and philosophy? And if you could a little bit talk about the founder. Oh, you're mute, by the way.
I'm mute. So I wanted to ask Yannick, can I try and show the video, or should I?
Yeah, please go ahead, try.
Okay, let me give it a shot. If it doesn't, yes. It says you have to enable.
Oh, give me a second. I should be able.
Okay, let me try this.
Where's everyone?
You can't see them.
Every day we see new problems, and the old solutions just can't keep up. We need new solutions that grow exponentially, outpacing even the biggest problems. The question is, how do we get there? If you're a tech entrepreneur today, you have access to powerful support.
I will make you an offer for the full £200,000.
And if you make it big, the world is at your feet.
He can pull that off, I think.
What if the entrepreneurs using technology to create positive impact would get the same treatment? Shouldn't they? At Norsken, these are the tech entrepreneurs we support. Our fund invests in the tech entrepreneurs with the greatest chance of having a positive impact. Our co-working space gives them a workplace with everything they need to grow.
If we offer you the best space in the world, then you can do the best work in the world.
Our partners provide them with resources and experience. With the right investments and the right space, we want to make sure that the best impact entrepreneurs have the best chance of succeeding. Because in the end, it's really quite simple. If they win, we all win.
Interesting.
Did you hear it?
Yes,
it played.
Yes,
okay, perfect.
So talk a little bit about what we just saw and the philosophy of the foundation itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So the foundation itself was set up by Niklas. He's actually the founder of a company called Klarna. And Klarna is now one of Europe's largest banks. And it provides payment solutions to 90 million consumers with more than 200,000 merchants and across 17 different countries. And Niklas actually left Klarna instead to devote his time completely to Norrsken Foundation, which, as you heard, supports entrepreneurs that are really trying to solve societal challenges, because he wanted to give them the recognition and the platform they needed to succeed. So that was the real sort of how it all came about. And the foundation itself supports entrepreneurs in two ways: through a co-working space that now has 430 impact entrepreneurs in Stockholm, and it has a VC fund, €100 million VC fund in Sweden. And they've done incredibly well. It's been running for the past 3 years. And so that leads to Stella and I, because they've decided that they wanted to expand, and their first expansion is to Rwanda. So that's where we come.
So you said this is one of the biggest entrepreneurship hub in Africa or East Africa. So let me just ask you, why East Africa and why Rwanda? This is your first on the continent. Why Rwanda?
I'm so glad you asked. So of course, even despite COVID, East Africa is still the fastest growing region in Africa and sort of one of the fastest growing regions in the world. And it has a booming entrepreneurial ecosystem and environment. And Rwanda has a very strategically positioned. It's sort of the gateway to these sort of really high performing markets, and it has access to East African startups and Central African startups. It's also the second easiest place to do business in Africa. So you can according to the World Bank, so you can set up a business in 48 hours here. And another key factor that really came into our decision making was Rwanda's focus is really on entrepreneurship and innovation. The government is very behind sort of creating a tech entrepreneurship ecosystem. And so we really wanted to be part of that vision and contribute to the growth of the region.
So Stella, I want to ask a question. You've been leading the hub in Rwanda, and as a Rwanda, how do you see this fits into the ecosystem in Rwanda?
Yes, so thank you, Yannick. I think it's a very good opportunity, and it fits so well in the ecosystem because, just like Savanna said, we have a very strong, the government of Rwanda has a very strong stance when it comes to entrepreneurship and job creation. So instead of always depending on government to offer jobs, to lead the development of a country, so that you see how Rwanda is also shifting towards entrepreneurship. And then this hub is going to strengthen that mindset. So the mindset shift towards entrepreneurship is a very, very strong point here. And when we have many entrepreneurs or many citizens that are also, looking at joining entrepreneurship or setting up startups, then automatically there's a shift in the economy of the country, because then we're creating businesses, we're having entrepreneurs creating all these challenges that we would have waited for years and years for the government to solve. So one thing is that the mindset shift and also strengthening the entrepreneurship journey that Rwanda is on, but also Norsken is going to create a very beautiful space for entrepreneurs to come together. It is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. You have to see it, or if you haven't seen it, you have to visit. Yes, so imagine this space created just for the entrepreneurs to come and get inspired, come together with all the partners around, with their peers, to kind of then be inspired and then innovate further and create businesses that are going to last longer.
So what kind of entrepreneurs or startups are you looking for your space?
I can answer this and Stella can add. So we're really looking for ambitious entrepreneurs that want to scale their impact across Africa. That's really our sweet spot, is really in this scaling. We want to expand outside and across Africa as much as possible. And we are industry agnostic. However, we have focus areas in fintech and agri-tech and food systems, largely because that's our expertise in Stockholm and Sweden. So that's an area that we feel we can add value. And you mentioned a little bit of, how you help entrepreneurs space and VC. Could you talk a little bit, how you're helping these entrepreneurs in your space? And is the VC part you have in Sweden also coming to Rwanda in terms of investing in startups? Absolutely. So our goal really surround entrepreneurs with everything they need, all the resources they need to enable their growth. So what we're planning on doing with our space is we're inviting key accelerators, incubators, business support companies, training programs, as well as sort of combined with our international network of investors and entrepreneurs to try and pull them all into the space and sort of achieve this critical mass so that they can all benefit from each other. And we are bringing a seed fund. So we have our Norsken African Seed Fund, which is coming. And it's been set up, and we've started the process of doing that. It isn't going to be limited to just our building. It is actually a Pan-African fund, so it can invest in startups across across Africa, and it's really looking at, the fund's focus is very much on technology and scalability. So it's why our focus within the house is really on the scalable startups, and that's sort of, we're trying to enable sort of be a good deal flow for our fund, but also for other investors that we have in our network.
Everybody has a question: when are you launching? When are you coming? When people can start getting in? That's the question. But Stella, you have the answer, or Savanna. So when can people, you know?
Yes, so the anticipation is really high. We ourselves, we can't wait for it. So you can imagine what the outside world is also. So we are right now in, we're gonna start our renovation phase. So the former Ecobe, you all know that's where the facility is going to be, the campus. And we're starting our renovations November this year. And we are excited to launch around July next year, 2021. So our first phase, and then we'll have a next phase in 2022 around March. So this is when we're gonna open up the bigger space. So we have those two phases, and we can't wait. We're also, you know, working day and night to have this, to have the space available and open for everyone.
I want to ask, can people start signing up? People can start signing up. And what's the process to get in, to get a space there?
So at the moment we do have a waiting list already set up. So we can definitely send that to you and sort of share far and wide. We would love that. At the moment, we're just collecting people who are interested in the space. Once as we've then sort of started construction and have a more clear idea of when we're going to open and sort of what we're going to be able to offer, then we're going to go back to that waiting list and sort of start going through that list.
If you don't mind talking a little bit, the space itself, what do we find it, you know, in terms of the space, not the programs, but the space itself?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Yannick, I want you to imagine for me. Imagine a space. It's going to be 4,000 square meters. It's going to host up to 800 entrepreneurs, and it has a mixture of private office space as well as open sort of hot desking spaces. We have indoor conference rooms, we have outdoor meeting rooms, we have indoor event spaces, we have outdoor event spaces. We also have a rooftop space, of course. We're in Kigali, we have to. We have a kitchen, we have a cafe, we have a mother's room, we have a developer's room, we have a library space. We have, what else do we have? We have a media center with a podcast studio and a film studio. So we're hopefully going to provide for every need an entrepreneur has. We want to be able to provide a space for them to create, make, think, innovate, meet, collaborate, network, all of the above, and pitch, of course.
And what kind of type of, so you'll be hosting events, I'm assuming, around entrepreneurship and things like that.
Yes.
I want to finish with this. I saw on the website you say you believe in building scalable business is the best way to solve global problems. Could you talk about a little bit about this, as both Stella and Savanna, in your views? What does this mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So Norsken really does believe that no challenge is bigger than our collective ability to solve it. So I think the best way to show this is to give you an example. So we partnered with Dagens Industri and Nordic Capital, which are Swedish firms, and we action against Corona platform. And the purpose of it was to gather initiatives, partners, volunteers that were all doing something to help with the Corona situation. The website itself was set up in 3 days. We received 1,000 applications from 75 different countries. We had over 128 partners and over 200 volunteers sign up. And one of the companies that we actually invested in is a company based in East Africa called AMREF, and they disseminate training to healthcare workers on preventative treatment and measures, all through their mobile app. And they were actually in the process of scaling. So they were based in Kenya, but they wanted to expand to Ethiopia and Malawi and Uganda. And so I hope that this example sort of illustrates how tech can really be sort of harnessed to enable entrepreneurs around the world to solve a global problem. So that's really what our sort of core belief is.
Stella, you want to add anything?
So yeah, I would add something small, because so we have to also come back to the context, to the African context. So entrepreneurs start up, you know, they start their businesses, but they think small. So they're like, okay, if I've started my company, it's just either in Kachiru and I serve only Kigali and that's it, right? And instead of, you know, having another kind of innovative business model whereby you factor in scalability, how do I position myself and my business to be able to scale? Even, let's just talk about Rwanda, from Kigali to Gisenyi, and then from Gisenyi, you now cross the border to Uganda, and then you've seen the East African market, and then you position your business further to capture the West African market, the Southern African market. So it's more to have role models like AMREF and all the others that we've invested in, but also to show them that it's possible. And also those entrepreneurs to act as role models and tell all these budding entrepreneurs, the young entrepreneurs, that, you know, you can make it. If I can make it and I put A, B, C, D in place for my business to be scalable, then you can also do it. So it's in those lines to actually then think out of the box, have an innovative business model that will scale your business and your startup, and to grow. So the more you grow, the more you scale, the more revenues you also get, the more market share that you also get in the ecosystem. So yeah, we hope to inspire that. We hope to be able to have programs also in place that are going to give a guiding hand for such entrepreneurs to also scale.
Interesting. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. All the best. Can't wait to see the opening of it. And thank you for joining us today at Kigali Foreign Affairs Service. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you.